choicehotels.com.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Earlier this morning, our magical baking chef, Lori Horton, started making pistachio pudding cookies with us. Let's just kind of recap what we did in that first segment.
Okay, so we started out, we got all of our dry ingredients incorporated for the most part, and then we got creamed our butter, our sugar, all of kind of the standards as far as cookie making goes. So I've got my bowl here that's just got my butter, regular white sugar, brown sugar, all creamed together. I added my egg and my vanilla, nice and ready to go. And then this was just the flour, the actual pudding mix, the whole point of this recipe, right? And then our baking soda and salt.
Okay.
So all I'm gonna do now is kind of slowly, unless you like to clean up a mess, start to add some of these dry ingredients in here. And we'll get all of that incorporated.
A little bit at a time.
A little bit at a time. Again, unless you like to clean your kitchen or you need to clean your kitchen. And then once we have all of this mixed in, we're gonna kind of slowly add the pistachios. And that's just a little extra crunch, a little bit of extra flavor to that. It's not mandatory. The pudding cookies that I made over here with the butterscotch, instead of adding that, obviously, added some extra butterscotch baking chips.
Oh yeah.
So it changes up the dough a little bit.
Well, and we found out you came on a couple times ago and brought in just a variety of different baking chips that are out there now too.
It's crazy. You can really
they probably have pistachio flavored ones.
They probably do. I'm not going to say they don't, but you know, the espresso, the peanut butter, some of the really, really good ones on that. I mean, it's crazy what you can make as a combination of flavors. So you can change up your flavor of pudding, you can change up some extra chips in it or nuts, whatever works for you, and really go from there.
And you know, some of your kids are already out of school, some of them may be getting out this week, coming up with different baking ideas with them. This is a great activity to keep them from using that B word. I'm bored.
It's a good one, or you know, if it's into school, this is a perfect one to put together, throw in a cute container, and it's sort of that, you know, thank you to the teacher for putting up with my kid all year.
Yeah, don't forget that.
You know, that's always a good one you got to keep in mind. So now that we're done, I'm just going to take my spatula and kind of, you know, finish this off with a little bit of a final scrape here on the bowl, and then we're going to fold in those pistachios again for that little bit extra. But with this one, what it does, because we've got really finely ground.
How do you get them to that state?
Little food processor.
Little food processor.
If you've got a little Ninja, if you've got one of, you know, your little coffee grinder even works good with nuts. But I've got them pretty fine, so it's actually going to make my dough a little bit stiffer. That's why you'll notice on our green ones over here that they're a little bit denser, and our butterscotch ones there are a little bit flatter. They're not quite as dry of a dough when we start with, because we added those chips.
Well, the pudding itself is going to keep it adds that moisture to it.
Exactly, and that's just that extra flavor, because, you know, that's the fun part with the pistachio. Again, it's kind of an underrated, it's a forgotten flavor, and everybody, when you talk about it, is like, I love pistachio. They just never think about using it in different things. So this is a really good one to just bring that back out.
And if you're not a super fan of like the hard nut in your cookie and stuff, just grind it up even more, or like you said, leave that part out and just use the pudding.
Exactly. You've got those fine bits in the pudding, so you're going to get some in there, but not go crazy. That's why we're adding the extra.
Okay, so how big of balls do we need to roll these into?
So you can do these with just a tablespoon. I'm going to use my handy dandy cookie scoop, because that just makes it nice and even. This is kind of a almost small ice cream scoop size, but whatever size you want to make them, we'll adjust the baking
We're
accordingly.
going to put these in the oven.
Magic of television. We're going to come back and then we'll sample.
Okay, we'll be back after weather with the final product.